so much for joining us. We are talking about budgeting this evening. Let's talk money, budgeting 101. We asked for questions and you all submitted your questions, and we're so thankful. Budgeting is important not only in the natural, but also in the spiritual, and we're going to touch more on that later in the show. But thank you for joining us this evening. We have budgeting expert with us, and I'm so excited, Sylvia Miller-Howell, and she will tell you more about herself as we get started. So we are going to jump right in and get to the questions that you all submitted. So once again, thank you for joining us, and please stay throughout the entire show because we have some great information toward the end. So thank you. Let's get started. Hi, Sylvia. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you,
I,
Kawana?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us here.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. So would you like to just get right into the questions, or you want to tell us more about yourself?
Well, I am an author of two books. I
Mhm.
have an amazing husband, two wonderful children, and five grandchildren. Yes, my book, Money Savvy Happy.
Ooh.
Um, that book was written because there was a time in my life where I was having struggles, being a single mom, not being fully aware of how to budget. And so it made me do some research and studying. And once I got a budgeting method down, it changed my life. So I'm here to change people's lives because if you got a budget and you change your habit, it'll change your life.
Awesome. That is so true. And we can all use help with budgeting. I know I can. I'm going to be very real. So this is not just for you all, it's for me too. So perfect. And there's a lot of single moms out there today that are they're struggling with that. So this show is going to be a great help for them as well. So great. So is anything else you want to tell us, or you want to get started on the questions?
Well, I do know that the Bible says that my people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge, and that is it's so important to have knowledge of things that you don't know. And with the questions, I'm looking forward to it. So any questions that you may have is no stupid question. It's stupid when you don't ask that question.
Yes.
So, and I like to try to teach people as if they don't know anything.
Mhm.
So I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, and then you brought up one of a great Bible verse, and it's another one that I love that I read often, and it's Proverbs 22:7, and it tells us that we become slaves to the lender. So
Right.
whenever we borrow, whenever we're not good with our money, and I don't think they spoke, I don't think they said the word budgeting in the Bible, but they talk a lot about money. And when we're
Right.
not, good stewards of God's money, we don't get to enjoy the blessings that He's bestowed upon us.
Right.
So when we're not good with money, we become slaves. To
That's
lenders, slaves
mhm.
to life, to working constantly. There's no freedom, there's no relaxation, there's no solitude. There's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, we're off.
Right.
Like we're wavering when we're not balanced,
Right. Right.
especially when it comes to money, because we have to be real. We need money to live, not to
That's right.
survive, but we need shelter. Most of us pay for a shelter. We need electricity, we need water, we need food, and those things require money. So we have to be very real about that. We know that God is our provider, but God spoke about money in his word, and he laid out a foundation for us to follow. So it's very important. Budgeting was very important to God. It was important then, it's important today. So that's one of the reasons why we are speaking on it, because it's a topic, especially in the times that we're living in, that we must discuss. We have got to
That's
get on top of budgeting. So I'm very excited.
right.
Very.
Right. Yes, and I do notice that even in schools and college graduates, um, they don't have any knowledge of how to budget. After 4 or 6 years of college, they don't have any knowledge. Usually, if budgeting is taught in the home, then it sticks with you because that's something that you're learning from your parents every day. But a lot of cultures, they don't teach it because they don't know it.
Oh, that's very true. That is so true. I've even in this home, we don't bring up budgeting a whole lot. We do now, but I remember
Right,
earlier in life, budgeting was not a topic that I thought of on a daily basis at all. I think I had,
right.
we have so many other things we don't think about. Okay, we need to budget. If we take the time to budget all of these other things, we probably wouldn't have. So, and you're very right about that. A lot of kids, when they go off to college, they have no idea what a budget is because it's
That's
never
right.
brought up. And I think, and tell me if you agree, I think a lot of that has to do with just day-to-day life. A lot of parents are working a lot more hours than they did years ago. And because they may not know about budgeting, the kids don't know about budgeting. And then if budgeting isn't taught in schools, no one is teaching budgeting. So the kids
That's
are
correct.
starting their lives knowing nothing about a budget. Do you
That's
agree with
right.
that?
I agree. I do agree with that. And I had with my grandson, he said that when I get 18, I'm gonna go out on my own. I'm gonna do this. So what we decided to do was do a budget. Okay, let's do a budget. How much you think you're gonna make? And so when he did the budget, he had no money to eat with.
Oh,
So, so it was like a reality check. And he's like, I gotta pay lights. Yes, you have
yes.
to pay. For water, yes, you have to pay for water. So sometimes, if the kids do that before they make that move, you make a plan and then see what the budget is. See if it would even fit. Okay, and then you move. So it was like he's like, I gotta have a job making a lot of money. I
Yes.
say, yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do. So let's not move so fast.
Yes. It's just, patience. Patience
Right,
is key.
right.
So wonderful, wonderful. I'm super excited. So, I mean, not only, is budgeting good for college kids, I think it's great for everybody.
Yes.
And we had some beautiful questions submitted to us for you, Sylvia. And
Okay.
you're great. So I know that you're going to answer them very, very well. And so I think we should just jump right in and see, what you can teach us about budgeting.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, the first question comes from Regina. Thank you so much, Regina, for submitting your question. And it says, how do you budget for unexpected emergencies when you're living paycheck to paycheck?
Well, my first question would be to Regina is does she have a budget? Okay, because if you have a budget, you wouldn't live paycheck to paycheck. You would be aware of what you need at all times. So, with that being said, I would say, well, maybe get a part-time job or cut some of your expenses.
Mhm.
Sometimes, we don't need a $200 cable bill. We don't need Netflix. We don't need Netflix and whatever other program they have. Just choose one. So sometimes if people just cut back, they can save for an emergency. Just save a little bit at a time. Just like you pay car insurance, put a certain amount aside for emergencies.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Wow. We don't think about all of those extra expenses that we tack on. You
Right,
brought up
right.
you brought up great ones, Netflix or cable or
Yes,
just those little things that we can cut here and there, and it just increases the budget.
because
You know,
they're not necessities.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's not a necessity.
Wow. So you have more money in your pocket throughout
Hmm.
the month and I guess at the end of the month as well. If we
Right.
shave off those excess things that are not necessities.
And also eating out, it's I think is not a necessity. And drinking Starbucks coffee every morning is not a necessity. It's
Or Duncan.
Dunkin', right? And I'm talking about $2.50 a cup every day. Okay,
Yeah.
do the math for 30 days. All right, that's something that can go into your savings for an emergency.
Yes.
Yeah, so you just got to be aware of your spending. If you had a budget, you would be aware of your spending. And like I always tell people, the money that pay yourself, and pay yourself. If you pay yourself, put that in cash in an envelope. When that's gone, that's gone. So if
Oh,
you want
that
to buy coffee every day, buy coffee every day. But once that's gone in your little envelope, that's it.
one. Oh, that is such a great, great idea. Wow. That's why we asked you to come on because you're phenomenal at what you do. Just phenomenal. Like that's something that you probably won't read or see,
Right.
almost anywhere else. So that's a great, great, great topic or idea. Great advice. Wow. So the next question comes from Crystal, and she asked, "What is the quickest way to save money? What's the quickest way to save money?"
Well, when you get your check, and this is something that you should do, you should pay yourself first.
Yes.
You work, pay yourself first. Honestly, you should pay yourself 20% of that
Ooh,
paycheck
okay.
first, okay? And then your bills, because if not, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're paying bills
Yeah.
paycheck to paycheck. Okay, so um, the that would be the quickest way to save money, is to pay yourself first. I say I'm paying myself, then I'm paying for my lights, my food. You pay those things, and then you'll realize that all the other stuff you're paying is not necessities, and you're because sometimes we want to have fun. We get our paycheck and we only pay the bills that's due that week. Okay, that's because we don't have a budget, but oh, we know this is due on the 21st and today is the 21st, so I'm going to pay it. If you had a budget, within that budget, you could pay it before that date. I
Yeah.
always say pay your bills 2 weeks before they're due. And then you're not worried about late notices, because that's when we become a
Good.
slave because of all the fees that we're paying, and we're always pedaling from behind.
Oh, that's good advice. That is great advice. Mm-mm-mm. Pay yourself first. I think a lot of people may feel or have felt in the past. I've been there, done that. When it comes to paying yourself first, kind of they may feel guilty about that, or they may feel like, can I really afford to pay myself 20% of what I make? Or they may feel like I've worked, you know, all this time, 2 weeks. I mean, I'm working overtime, doing all of this. Is 20% enough? They may be asking that. So 20%, you say, is an even balance of what they should be paying themselves, no matter how much they make, they should be paying themselves 20%.
They should be paying themselves 20%. But if they're afraid to do that and they're
Mhm.
behind on their bills, try 10%. Start with 10% of
Mhm.
paying yourself, but put that to the side. That's for you
Mhm.
to
Oh,
do
that's awesome.
whatever you need to do with it. Not to
Wonderful.
pay a bill,
To use on yourself.
on yourself.
We can do that more. I love that advice.
And it'll work because you'll begin to adjust it when you feel good about yourself and you're spending that money on yourself, you'll begin to adjust the other bills. To say, I really don't need this. And I don't have to go to McDonald's 3 times a week and take the kids, because when you add it up, you're spending a lot of money, when that could have been, you could have went to the grocery store
Yes,
and could have had a week's worth of grocery instead of
yes,
2 or 3 days of food.
yes. Oh, we can all use this advice. I know I can. Shannon, the next question is from Shannon, and she asks, how do I effectively pay for children's college, and how can I set myself up to retire before 80? So how do we pay for college at the same time and save for retirement at the same time?
Well, she can invest in um, investment funds,
Mhm. Oh,
401k, IRA, and I would set up an investment fund for the children, something that makes money.
Something that makes money.
Money. That's right. It just sits there and you're making money. So you don't want to take like a big risk. You want to put it into something that's safe. Something like, you know, I always say if you support that company, maybe that's who you should invest in. Okay.
Okay.
If you're a Dunkin' Donut person and they have stock, maybe that's what you should invest in. Get some of your money back.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So she should think about setting up investment funds, a
Yeah,
401k
investment fund.
or IRA or an investment fund for the kids.
Right. That's correct.
And over
That's
time,
correct.
that will build money or build
Right.
interest. Okay. And that
Right.
will help her save.
That's correct.
Now, when it goes to, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but this is a question that I have because it's
Okay.
one that we've already touched on.
Okay.
When you're living paycheck to paycheck, not saying that she is, this is just something I'm
Okay.
asking for the world, so to say. When you're living paycheck to paycheck and you want to start an investment account, what should you how should you go about doing that? Is it cutting the TV, or we know cutting eating out, but is it taking from what we've saved when we cut things that are not necessities?
Well, the first thing you do is that you're gonna be honest with yourself,
Okay.
and you're gonna write down everything that you spend money on. I usually what I do is I when I'm consulting people, I have them to write everything. I have a list I go down. And I ask them everything that they're doing, their habits that they have, good or bad. I ask them to be honest with themselves. Let me know everything that you have spent money on for the last month. Okay. And then we go through that list and we eliminate things that we really don't need, but we thought we needed, and we come up with a plan. Some people cannot go cold turkey. It's like a drug. They can't go cold turkey and they can't let go of something. So what we do is that we gradually let them have it. Like we have people that eat out every night. I don't cook. I don't have time to cook.
Mhm.
Okay, well, this week for your family, we're just going to give you $200 to eat out. But then we gradually cut that every month. We decide, okay, well, let's see if you can go to 100, then $50. So you would have to look at your budget, look
Mhm.
at everything that you're spending money on, and then eliminate. Usually, it's not the amount of money that you're making. What it is how you're spending your money. Okay, so we would eliminate a lot of people things that's not necessary.
Wonderful. So, in other words, if we're working and if we're budgeting properly, we can start investing.
That's correct. That's correct. That's right. Because you'll have that extra money. I don't care what amount you're making, you will have the extra money if you budget properly.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. So that's the best way to save for both, to pay for both your children's college and save for retirement. Next question comes from Patience. Thank you so much for your question, Patience. What is a reasonable amount per month for a family of three for both eating out and entertainment? What's a reasonable amount per month for a family of three for both eating out and entertainment?
We always do $25 per person.
Okay.
Okay. So three people, that'll be $75. And also plan your event. Whatever you're going to do, plan for it. Don't just go, wow, let's do this. Then you're going to overspend. Okay. And if you decide that, well, I want to do something big and $25 just not going to cut it. Well, guess what? You need to wait 2 or 3 months until you get that money and then do it. It's about planning. Okay, that's the proper way to budget, is that when you plan everything. So $75, $25 per person, three people, $75 a month. And you can do it because I think it's about having family time, doing things together. Um, Me and my husband took our grandchildren to horseback riding this week. Okay, which was really fun. But it was like, okay, it's not in the budget to feed you. So what we did, we made lunches. Packed us a sack lunch, went out, and we had enough to eat. We had a picnic table, had a little picnic, climbed trees. They did whatever. They had a great time, but we knew it was not in the budget to take you to McDonald's today. And it worked. So I think if you just know your budget and stay within your budget, you'll be okay. And I'm telling you from experience, it's hard at first. Okay, because the things that you are doing, you're used to doing them, you enjoy doing them, and you just don't want to cut back. I mean, it's
That's
really
true.
hard at first, but if you could just hang in there 45 days and you can see the results, it'll change your life.
Wow, that is so true because it's very hard to start at first. It takes a lot
Yes.
of discipline.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah,
But it's worth it. It's
yeah.
worth it.
Wonderful. Lots of discipline. Maura asks, how do you budget for life's expenses when you have no income?
Okay. Well, that's a good question because we do have people in that situation. And what you do is that you get with someone and you make an agreement. Okay. That means that, you know what, I have no income. I'm having a hard time. Uh, can I stay with you maybe 30 days, 60 days until I get myself together? You make an agreement with a person. And I always say, we make a contract, we write it out and we talk about everything because when you're living in someone else's house, you need to follow their rules. So
Yes.
you just come together with somebody that you can trust, but you don't do it like on friendship. It's still business. It's business. So you write it out so that you can still be friends afterwards.
Yes.
Okay, because that's important, but you have to be open and honest. I don't have this, but I'm looking for a job. So we've had where families decided we're all going to move together, and 6 months everybody was crowded, but in that 6 months, each family has saved 10 grand. So it was just a sacrifice. Sometimes we have to sacrifice to get what we need so we can move on because we all fall on hard times.
Yes. I often remind my girls, actually, we just had this chat the other day. The girls and I, we were headed to Gainesville, um, spending, you know,
Okay.
what we did not budget. It was just on a whim.
Okay.
So I'm learning a
Okay.
lot here today. And I remind them often that I remember we were so, I don't want to say poor. We were poor financially. We were so poor whenever well, this is whenever I first had London, and London is now 18. So we were
Okay.
so poor financially. We did not have enough money to buy a half gallon of milk.
Okay.
A half a gallon of milk. Now this is 16 years ago.
Okay.
And so I've been there, done that.
Right. Right.
And so when it comes to making sacrifices, they're important because
Right.
we had to learn how to sacrifice.
Right.
And then I
Right.
feel like when you can do that, you come back stronger. You
That's
learn from your
correct.
mistakes. You're like,
Right.
I don't ever want to be there again. And so
Right.
you do
Right.
what it takes to never be there again. So I try to teach the girls that remember, it is about sacrifice. We can't just spend, spend, spend. And so I
Right.
like that you brought up sacrifice when you answered Maura's question, because sometimes that's what it takes. And, a lot
Right.
of us have been there, done that.
Well, and with me and which my husband, he laughs sometimes if I'm in a grocery store and my budget is $100 and they say $101, I take something back because I
Yeah.
want to stay within my budget. I don't care because if you start just saying, okay, that's okay, you'll do that with everything.
Yeah.
So you just have to make sure that your budget and even with the grandkids, they got $5 and it's $5.15. If you, hey, that's your budget.
Yeah.
You can't have that. Put it back. So I'm trying to teach them at a very young age about budgeting and how important it is.
That's phenomenal advice. Phenomenal advice. So, great advice for every question that you've answered so far. The next question comes from Dana, and Dana asks, how can I grow my finances both efficiently and quickly? So, how can she grow her finances both efficiently and quickly?
Earn more, save more, and spend less.
Ooh. Can you please say that one more time?
Earn more, save more, and spend less.
Oh, so earn more, save more, and spend less.
That's correct. Sometimes, people get an extra job and they earn more, but then they spend more.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm making more, I'm going to spend more. Overtime, they get overtime and they work and work and work overtime, but they never really see the overtime because they begin to spend more because I'm spending more time away from home. So therefore, I'm eating out more because I don't have a budget. I don't see that. But in the end, it's like, I don't know what happened, but it's because you didn't have a budget. Take a bag lunch to work with you.
Yes. And a lot of people may hear that and say, really, a bag lunch? I don't cook, or I don't know how to cook, or I don't have stuff to make lunches. Do I really have to take a bag lunch? But when it comes to budgeting and sticking to that budgeting, you are saying yes, you really have to take a bag lunch if you want to see your money grow efficiently and quickly. You need to start packing a bag lunch, or you need to start
That's
not
correct.
only packing a bag lunch, earning more and saving more.
Right, right. And also start a business. There's something that we're passionate about that we enjoy doing. And if you enjoy doing it, give back. If you're doing something, I always say the best thing to do to earn money is to do something for someone else.
I'm back. I don't know what that was about. It does that sometimes. We have to fix that. And I think it's just
Right.
because you're giving great information and something's trying to say no, but no, we're going to keep pushing through. So the next question comes from Daphne, and Daphne asks, how do I budget for vacation while living on a budget? So how can she budget for vacation while living on a budget?
Okay, well, she's living on a budget and she has her budget. She needs to put her vacation fund within that budget.
Okay.
It's like they take taxes out of her check. She may want to take $50 out per check and say, this is my vacation fund. You can also have it where within your job, you probably can have it to go into a savings account that is your vacation fund. And then therefore, if we don't see it, we don't miss it.
Yeah.
So
Because
budget, she can budget her vacation within her budget.
Oh, phenomenal advice. So it's just like you said, it's just like taking taxes. So whenever they take those taxes, you're not missing it
Right.
because they automatically take the taxes from your paycheck. So if
That's
she
correct.
automatically removed that $50, is that what you're saying? If she were to take that $50
Yes.
out,
Yes.
and where would you suggest she put it to keep from touching it?
She would have, if possible, she would have that $50 to automatically go into another account.
Oh, great advice. Okay.
Okay, like a savings account, have it automatically go into that savings account before she even get her check into her account. Some I guess employers where they can have you can put money into different accounts.
Mhm.
Like, okay, I want 50% in my savings, 50% in my checking account. So she can have that to go into a savings. She can say a percentage, or she can say $50 uh, a week. A paycheck can go into a certain account. That then she won't miss it. She won't see it because we can always find something to do with money that we see.
Oh, yeah.
If we see it, we're going to use it. It's like buying
Yeah.
groceries for the house. If they see it, they're going to eat it up.
Yes. Causing us to buy more grocery. Yes,
Right.
that's
Right.
true. Oh, wonderful. So she would start a separate account, have that money go into a separate account. She won't even see it. And over time, that's going to build. And
Right.
then before she knows it, she's going to have
Mm,
her funding for her vacation.
that's
No
correct.
stress at all.
That's
It's
correct.
wonderful. Grace asks, how much should I be saving from each check to live both comfortably and be able to retire at age 60?
Well, it all depends on the person's age now,
Okay.
is how much they would need to save. That would be a question that I would answer to that person individually.
Okay.
I would have a conversation with them individually to find out, and I don't mind if you want to give her my information. I would be more than happy to talk to her.
I sure will. And
Okay.
I know Grace personally. I know she'd love that. So I would definitely give her
Okay. That's,
your information.
okay.
Thank you for that.
That's no problem. All righty.
And from all of us here at Kiwanis Smile, we have this question.
Okay.
Where should a person's primary focus be when setting a budgeting goal? So what should we be focusing what's the first thing we should be focusing on, because it can be overwhelming. People are saying, "Okay, you want me to set a budget, really? When I'm making this and I can't afford to do this. I know you're telling me to cut out, my TV, or you're telling me to cut this out or that out, but how, if I have children, how am I going to entertain my kids? What are they going to do?" So it's a lot of mental distress up here when it comes to budgeting. Like, you really want
Right.
us to budget. How, where do you want me to start first? So a lot of people have that question. Where should we start first when budgeting?
Well, when budgeting, the best thing for you to have is an emergency fund.
Mhm.
Okay. So within this budget, we need to have an emergency fund. And an emergency fund, uh you got to do everything as a family. Okay, that means you got to get the kids involved in everything with what they're doing, because they want to understand. And what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, try to, within the budget, save 3 to 6 months. Okay, so that means that we're going to slowly be saving money, and everything. The kids, they're not going to understand when you say we can't do this or we can't do that, we can't eat out tonight, but we usually do this every Saturday. No, we can't do it. But if you sit down and you tell the kids that we're trying to do a budget and there's a reward after this, a
Very good.
vacation or whatever, uh they're going to be on board, because they're going to be excited, and you let them in on it. If they're getting an allowance, have them to save their allowance, and they'll be able to see um, the benefits. They'll be able to reap the benefits from this. So the first thing is do is you have a family meeting, and you sit
Okay.
down, and because it involves everybody, it affects everybody. We can't go shopping every Saturday. We can't just shop like that. I can give you $5 and you can go buy you something, but you have to just get everybody involved within the family. Whoever it affects, you need to tell them. Yeah.
Great advice. Things that I would never have thought of, things that so many others don't think of because we're just not budgeting experts like yourself. So these things we don't know. Um, You've answered all of the questions. You did a phenomenal job. I've learned so much, and I know that you all have learned so much. Remember, these are questions that you have to pay for if you were to go to any other budgeting expert. And I know that they have been answered phenomenally. So thank you so much, Sylvia, for joining us and for answering these questions. And you did a phenomenal job. And we're so, so, so blessed to have had you here. And I know that you want to discuss some things. You want to tell us a bit more about yourself and what you have going on. So please share that with us.
Yes. Right now we're building an app, a budgeting app, and it's called Jyngles. That's Jyngles. That's called
Mhm.
Jyngles. So next month we'll have Jyngles. Hopefully, Miss Kawana have me back, and
Yes.
everybody can have their Jyngles app, and input everything. And what the app will do is once you put in all your bills and your pay, it will actually create a budget for you. So I am looking forward to having Jyngles on an app at your right at in hand at all times when you are at Dunkin' Donuts and you want that coffee. You'll be able to know, Miss Kawana, whether you can afford that.
I
Or
know.
should I save this $2.63?
Help, Lord, help me with the
Right.
Dunkin' decaf.
Well, you can just make your coffee at home.
Well, that's what I did this morning, and actually, I've did it almost 2 weeks now. I have
Okay.
not bought coffee out. I have been
And so,
making.
and how much did it save you?
Oh, don't put me on, you put me on the spot like that. I don't know, y'all.
Okay,
That's
do the math.
I am, and that's why I need budgeting help too.
Okay.
Well, look, I know that I spend about $2.65, I think, for a medium hot decaf coffee, because that's what I order, a medium hot decaf coffee. It costs me, I think, between 250 and 265. Now, that's with the little sweet shot that I get in it. So I
Okay.
would do that almost every morning.
Okay.
Every morning after I drop my daughter off to school, I go. I'm spending close to, if I don't get coffee, if I just get coffee, it's 265 a day. But if I get coffee along with, say, a donut or this little croissant thing that they have, I'm spending around $5 a day,
Okay.
which is
So
why
five.
budget is great.
So 5 times 7.
But that's 35, right? Yes.
Yes, $35 a week. Okay, that can go into your investment account, and also you can invest with Dunkin' Donuts.
You know, and you know what? I definitely should. I've got to add this up because I'm curious. $35 times four. Ooh, that's 140. Yeah, $140 a month.
That's
30,
something you
30,
can be
40. And if
saving.
there's, oh wow, I could be saving $140 a month. I could be investing that money
That's correct.
instead of spending it on coffee and start making my coffee like I have been
Right.
for almost 2 weeks. So I'm very proud. Not
I am proud of
proud, but
you.
I'm very happy.
I am
You
very happy for you. It is too good.
thank you. So
And
Jingles is coming out. Jingles will
that's
be
correct.
out next month,
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
and it's a budgeting app.
It's a budgeting app, and it will be $5 a month.
Great.
uh, to be in our exclusive club. And also, we'll have a giveaway once a month of money. We'll be giving out, Visa cards, grocery cards. So once a month, we'll be giving out some if you become a member of Jyngles. So we're excited about it. This is something that's been in the making for a while. We just wanted to get it just right so it can help people. Because budgeting is also such a private thing. When you talk about money, it's private, and it's something that that we can teach you how to put everything in there, and it's with you at all times. So
One.
we are looking forward.
And so are we. I know that I will definitely sign up, and you all please go and sign up, and we'll have more information for you as soon as Jingles is available. So we will definitely have that information for you. So Sylvia, once again, thank you. And if you don't have anything else that you want to let us know, remember her book, Money Savvy Happy. Money Savvy Happy is a phenomenal book. You can get her book on Amazon, and it's great. It has all of this great budgeting information in it. I have not budgeted. I am going to become a budgeter. I needed
Okay.
help as much as you all did. So, Money Savvy Happy, pick it up on Amazon.com. If you want to learn more about it, contact us, drop us a comment. So, thank you, Sylvia, for being with us, and thank you all of us for joining. Thank all of you for joining us, and we can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to do it again.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
You're very welcome. You have a blessed evening.
All righty.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Like I said, we'll have more on Jyngles next month for you all. I will have more on her book, Money Savvy Happy, in the description box. So thank you so much for joining us, and we can't wait to do this again. I love you all. Have a blessed and